You know, the internet is an interesting place. You basically can't not find a biased opinion on there. It's not really possible. But World War II is also a very interesting topic because it's very important in history. But I wasn't there. So I'm going to need to know a little bit more on why it's a bit important, How did people feel on that? What happened? We're just going to need to know a little bit more. So, 5 web pages full of probably biased opinions. None of them I've explored too heavily. I just saw a World War II topic and try to keep it a surprise. We're going to see what we can find, though. So, in 3, 2, 1. Should be noted right here. Literally, the first sentence on the first page that we have. More people dead, more nations involved, and more money involved than any other war in history. Now that sounds crazy. That's unbelievable, to be honest. I don't even know the gravity of that because I wasn't there. How much money is that? Is that a big deal? Is that crazy? I mean, this World War III we keep all joking about, is that going to be even worse? Is that how this works? The cycle continues? Yeah, okay. The atomic bomb up here, that's important. We would go and drop an atomic bomb on somebody regardless of the consequences. But more importantly, I'd like to point out whoever wrote this decided that they put consequences here. I'm just a bit confused. The war ended depression and unemployment and dramatically expanded the government's presence in American life. I think this right here. This is what's supposed to be bad, but ended depression, and I think there's supposed to be a comma here: unemployment and unemployment. Wouldn't that be good? I I don't. Is this the bias? Are we already finding it? I don't understand how this makes any sense. But at least we know depression and unemployment destroyed. This war ended it. So there's positives to this, I think. It's a consequence, so maybe not. Maybe we wanted depression and unemployment. Who knows, right? This website, it's only one of the many, I guess. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, this whole page is about whether they should have used an atomic bomb or not. And you know what? It's one of those things where you weren't there to understand the anxiety down here that was caused by using this thing that basically made it so whoever shoots first is A, a terrible person, and B, winning. But, I mean, you just kind of have to go on, don't, just try not to do it again. Hopefully, everyone agrees to the terms. If not, well, honestly, if not, then we're all getting bombed, to be honest. That's how that works. Now that we all have one, this was just a questionable play, maybe. But I guess it won the war, and yet there's this person, whoever wrote this, they put in that people are his own critics, Truman's own critics, argued that this wasn't a good idea. This wasn't even necessary. But here we are. So it happened. We're just going to move on. We're just going to figure things out. Hopefully they don't require another atomic bomb, right? Okay. You get here, and you see all these people. This isn't necessarily as bad as they were making it out to be during the time in America, communism and all that. No, what you're seeing right now is hope because Germany wasn't very happy with the result of World War One, anyways. So that's how that works. Ah, yes, Pearl Harbor explosion. Can't go anywhere without finding this about World War Two. I said that sentence wrong. What I meant to say was you can't find anything about World War Two and America and not even involve Japan hitting Pearl Harbor. I mean, just out of nowhere. They were like, yeah, no, we'll be fine. We weren't fine. This explosion is in vivid picture here. The fact that this is even caught on camera so impressively, considering a lot of things actually. Yeah, as you can imagine, the follow up was not great. In fact, this is what the follow up looks like. This is the follow up. Really helps to understand how they were thinking. By the way, freaking Roosevelt's face right here. Why does he look like that? Something about sad. Like, I don't know. Is he serious? He's like, yeah, sure, I'll sign it. His face seems not sure. Definitely not happy. This dude standing behind him are probably guards. Very interesting. Very interesting. Does this picture portray anything like mixed emotion? On one hand, I see women are now even closer to being on equals with men. On the other hand, I see the government really needs some extra help, and we're running out of men from the last war, so we're now recruiting women. And we're not going to feel bad about it at all, actually. Whatever you got to do to win, right? You see this picture. This is a timeline. This man of darker color graduated. I don't know what school, but he graduated. That's probably amazing. This is 1944, actually. This war ends in one more year. But then you see Air Corps School. What does this mean? What does it all mean? What is this? And yet his face again. He looks like, is that a smirk right there? Like, yeah, I did that. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. This picture. It's this is one of those 1,000 words pictures, especially when they decide to put with the light of battle stays in his eyes. This is 2 days after, but 2 days of going in. By the way, hell they call it. Very interesting picture. I mean, does that look like Does that look like the face of a man who's been scarred for life? I don't know. I mean, because they could have just taken the picture at a questionable time, but who knows, right? This is clearly an important picture. Oh, look at this picture. This will make you feel better about the last picture. People going up in the world, stepping up, getting their job accomplished. This is 1944. Look at that. Success. The war ends not too long from now. They did their job, right? Of course they're smiling. Now, they're hiding something behind the smiles? Not relevant right here. The picture is solid. They can't change emotions in the picture. So they're smiling. For all intents and purposes, mission accomplished. Well done. I don't know what to think of this guy yet. He's very serious about going into this tank. Man, sheesh. This is a picture, right? He's just so serious about going into a tank. The one with the machine gun. The one your enemies will be targeting. That's what this picture feels like. Like, hey, I may not see you again, but I'm going in there, and I'm going to get the job done. Because that's what I've been trained to do. That's what this picture feels like. What am I supposed to be left with on that? Yes, a tilted American flag covered on rubble and smoke in the background. But the soldiers pulling it up. Yes, is this a victory? Probably. But, I mean, it is 1945, yeah, I mean. But at the same time, like, yeah, we raised the flag. Our morale went up by 3. It's been in the negatives for a bit, huh? I mean, look around you. How could it have been anything better? It's a wonder you still have a morale stat. This is one of those pictures where these guys, very interesting, right? They're mourning. I can't mourn for people I never met, effectively, let's say. I didn't know them. It's not possible for me to have as much emotion about this as they do. I'd have more emotion about the fact that imagine being born at a time that wasn't involving all this, which it may have sucked. Yeah, it probably did. But then you're born, and this is what you see, right? This is one of the images in the world you live in. And this isn't the only one either. But right now we're looking at this one. Just a bunch of white crosses. Is this something to be proud of? Is this something to be happy about? I mean, this all happened. This is an event that led to your existing here, so you're gonna have to live with it. Just move on, I guess. Just try and make the world a better place is what this image is. No matter who dies in the end, something's gotta come out of it. Something's gotta be good. This picture, signature picture of the guy smiling beyond the glare of this camera, and his lighter skin reflecting the light, or something like that. He's waving, smiling. This is it. This is the atomic bomb plane, and he's ending this war. Now, I imagine this guy and his ancestors even now are like, yeah, we dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima. Now, are they saying that proudly? I don't know. It really depends on what kind of people they are, you know? It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, you did drop an atomic bomb on people. And they were severely, let's say, crippled for years to come. But they did initiate war. I mean, kinda. Question mark. It's never that simple. It's just one of those things. It's one of those topics. There's no right or wrong answer here. It's both ends. You can see both ends. You can argue to the death that he was a hero or he was a terrible person, but in the end, it's not that simple, is it? But then there's this picture, which I don't even know. I don't know what to think of this. Is this how the disease spread? So random. Just imagine, like, after he kisses this random person, he goes and kisses this random person in the background. And then he kisses him. Why not? It says anybody. Even though that probably wasn't happening in this day and age. Just imagine, like, it wasn't happening like that. I mean, this doesn't happen in this day and age, so I can't get the same experience in this New York that I've never seen in my life. In these outfits that I've never seen in my life, besides these pictures, obviously. I don't know what to feel. I wasn't there, right? So I read into a bit of this, and I've analyzed only a few things, to be honest. These are foreign relations of the United States diplomatic papers. Or at least that's what that title says. But more importantly, this title. The ambassador in Japan grew to the Secretary of State. This whole thing you're seeing here, it looks like simple conversation or a thought, because this is 1937. The war is just beginning, or hasn't really started, or hasn't cranked up yet. This is when Japan's they're still okay, but they're thinking about it. You know, they're a little off. They're thinking about initiating everything. Not necessarily with America. This isn't that late in or midway in. That's a whole other thing. America kind of pisses them off, as they do. And then Japan retaliate because they're like, you're not our allies and all that. But that's not important right now. What's important right now is this page explaining essentially that, where is it? They're going to emphasize, they're about to start emphasizing increasing power of industrial production. That's relevant. It's very interesting. Even around 1937, this is getting interesting, let's say. This one. You'll see plenty of stuff on this one. Let's see, you got I like I just said that. Anyways, this is Hitler essentially talking to his to somebody. I didn't get that part. All I noticed was when this was translated to English, because Hitler most likely did not send a message in English. This is somewhere after Hitler was deciding, or had decided, we were attacking Poland. Poland's gone. It's over. We're doing this. And this whole thing is about being weak and strong, like being stronger than the weak. I mean, he literally says there's only three great statesmen in the world: Stalin, I, and Mussolini. Not to mention, Mussolini is the weakest because he's failed to defeat their enemies. It's just he just has. Not to mention, undertake to redistribute the world. This is part of this sentence. He clearly he was like, I'm taking over the world. That's just how this works. No more of these equal rules. No more of this sharing land with the rest of the world. This only the true power can survive. It just sounds like a villain. I don't know if that's what the actual text said, but that's what it feels like the whole time. I mean, he insults people throughout this whole thing by saying they're weak. I have put. Hold on. I have put. Was that a 1? That's a 1. I have put. Wait, that's not how this sentence works. Whatever. It's because it's a 1. Whatever. Have put death head formations in place. The command relentlessly and without compassion to send to death many women and children of Polish origin and language. It was merciless. Destroy them all. Why? Why be so like? I can only imagine how terrible Poland must look to them if they were like, "Nah, you're gone. Understand? We are deleting you off the map." That's how this ends. And then his one of his generals proceeds to say that they can end this war in a few weeks. It's not helping Poland's case. It really isn't helping Poland's case. What the heck? Poland will be depopulated, settled with the Germans. That's all there is. German is the only way. The little states cannot scare me. Because after this guy in Turkey, he died. He had command, he died. It's now governed by cretins and half-idiots, apparently. I mean, who of them would defeat Hitler? Who of them? As in the end, you're all just pawns. Unless you're enemies, in which you've already been defeated. It was inevitably going to end this way. This really is just the end game of real life. That's all it is. He just feels like Thanos. It's crazy. It's almost as if it was ultimately inspired on this one concept. Hitler's really done a lot for the world, believe it or not. Whether that's revealing things about people or giving some people ideas. He did some stuff that's gonna affect the rest of the world forever. Even though I wasn't there, they won't not tell me about it. And they probably will tell people about it for the rest of humanity's existing. So, is that good for him? I mean, he's technically in the history books forever. So, I don't know if I should say props or that's too bad. Yes. The fat boy. And the little. No, wait. Fat man. Sorry. And the little boy. Destroyers of whole worlds. No, continents. No, countries. Not, or at least not yet, you know. And the death cloud, the mushroom cloud, the thing that has a crossbone and skulls in every picture you see it in that's not a legitimate picture because it's just the embodiment of death. Very relevant. You know what this cloud is if you were born at all. It doesn't matter what day. Like, you weren't there, but they emphasize it. I mean, it's literally just a death symbol. It has the same death symbol as a volcano. If they didn't have this caption here, you might have assumed this was a volcano. Because I don't know what this is. It just kind of looks like dust and gray. It could be a bomb, it could be a volcano. Well, the smoke is white. No, that doesn't say anything either. Volcanoes and bombs have the same power, right? Both incredibly destructive. And this is the picture right here. You remember that smiling pilot? This is the ship that he's piloting. The little boy. Going in, dude. He's about to drop a little boy on Japan. Just think about that sentence for a bit. He's about to drop a little boy on Japan. And that's going to be the end of the war. Or was... Yeah, something like that. There's all these discussions on how they were gonna do this. This one right here is saying like, Washington yelled all the cards, basically already over. You know, a royal flush. Not to mention, they they can't even do anything because we stopped giving them stuff in the first place. Not to mention, our weapon is unique. They won't even know. They just, what the heck? MasterCard. What kind of ad is this? Is that Visa? And here it is. Even in their own documents, you've got proof, you know. They were already talking about using such a force like this, and more importantly, talking about their morality, you know, because of intentional killing of non-combatants, just entirely destroying people who weren't even part of the war with an insanely powerful weapon, knowing they were going to get hit and just not caring enough to not hit them. I don't know if they realized that it would hit them for generations, but it did. So that's how that happened, right? Uh, it's already happened now. Look at America, dude. They're literally planning to destroy an area with women and children near it. So in the end, you know, this doesn't make them evil. It just means that, you know, it's not weird, but every country, it's kind of questionable things very often, actually, but, you know, that's just how it is, I guess. Someone refers to it as terror bombing. You know, this is document 12 and 11. This is where they started questioning morals of this. After they started talking about pumpkins up here. I mean, that was what they were referring to, some alternate weapons that they were using tests. But morals, a whole 2 documents, probably continues forever. I mean, unpredictable. I could, without prior warning. It just gets worse, actually. Yeah, it's just gonna get worse. But this is just a thing in history, you know? So, yeah. So, anyways, what do I make of all this information? What do you make of all this information? All I know is that I wasn't there, and yet this was an experience, you know? This was definitely an adventure of some type, some kind of World War II adventure. Um, it's probably a better alternative to being there, that's for sure. It's one thing you have to keep in mind with these history classes. At least you're not there. Because no matter how you look at it, the positives don't outweigh the negatives in being there. Especially since everyone who was there has plenty of stories to tell you. And none of them go, oh yeah, I remember when I get that 30 kill count and dropped an airstrike and continued to win the game. No, they weren't like that, actually. They were more like, yeah, I saw it happen. My best friend, you know, he's gone. And now I have to go tell his wife and kids that they're gone. That their father is gone forever. And, you know, that's only one person. But that's just one story. And yet, experience is the best teacher, so if we just learn from experience, if we truly learn from experience, maybe we won't have to, maybe the jokes of World War III won't become a reality, you know?